Welcome back to 30 at 6. Now that it's getting really warm in Cecil County, we have to start thinking about the summer events, and the Cecil County Parks and Rec is all over that. Thanks so much for being here, Nick Moon.
Thanks for having me, Allison.
We have the first thing coming up this Friday, Community Game Night. Tell us about that.
So I want to talk about Community Game Night because it's I think it's a little known program that we've started now.
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, we've tried to push advertising, and then we'll run into people who are like, "This is a really cool idea. Why didn't we hear anything about it?"
Oh yeah.
And now being on Cecil TV, I think it's a perfect time to kind of get that out there.
It is perfect.
Yeah, so it's run the third or fourth Friday. It changes based on if we have a holiday or like an event that's already planned, but third or fourth Friday at the end of every month, 5 to 8 o'clock. It's a free event essentially for the community just to come out and kind of have, I don't want to say like old school fun because board games and card games, I mean, you have some newer ones and old ones, but it's just kind of like good fashioned fun. You know, we've got Uno, we've got hot tub high dive. We have a bunch of different things that you can
I
participate
don't even
in.
know that game.
I didn't either.
Sounds new and trendy.
It's pretty fun. I was surprised when I tried it, but it's pretty fun.
So not only is this happening this Friday, but it happens regularly. I didn't know that. I thought this was like the community game night.
So this is our third one. So we've had it once a month, and I mean, we've been trying our hand at getting the message out there, but it's tough. You know, there's so many different outlets and mediums that you can kind of get people on, and I mean, the more we have it, I think the more people are going to hear about it from their friends and family, which word of mouth is the best way of hearing of something. So we're excited for this one, which is again this Friday.
This Friday, 5 to 8 at the Rising Sun Community Center.
Yep.
And is it free?
It is free, which
That's
is
awesome.
I think the best kind of fun.
It is the best kind of fun.
Right.
What's your favorite board game?
Favorite board game? I'm more of a card game guy, if
Oh.
I'm being completely honest, because
That's
usually
fine.
I'll stick to like Life, which is really depressing, but like I don't have to
It can
think
be.
much, and I usually lose at board games. So card games, like I'll stick with like Uno or
Oh,
something
Uno's
that's
a
more of a
great
fun thing.
one.
Yeah.
I've
What
gotten
about you?
really into Jenga.
I'm so bad at Jenga.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrible at it, but it's fun. And
It is fun.
similarly, you don't have to think a whole lot.
That is true. That's true, and it's a lot of fun with friends,
It
like
is.
friends and family to play with.
It is. Have you seen those giant Jenga games?
Yes.
The ones I've never played one, but they seem fun.
I've seen dogs play them, and they're better than I am.
Oh,
I was gonna say total side note, but you know, it's pretty cool to see a bunch of different things all in one. I mean, Jenga's now that like new cool, I think it's like bar kind of scenario
Yeah.
where you're having friends come out, like a light kind of hangout session, and Jenga's that new thing that seems to be kind of catching on. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. So that's this Friday. Then next week we have summer field hockey kicks off, and that is at the Calvert Regional Park.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
So I thought it was kind of cool. We went from like something we're hoping to be like a new tradition of community game night, of getting people out there. Summer field hockey is something I really hope that we could maybe emulate for other sports. It is essentially just an opportunity that came up in the last couple of years of providing an infrastructure for people to play field hockey and to get their children interested in something they've already done. So we have 3 different programs that essentially go from kindergarten until 18 plus.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we have one that's kindergarten to 8, and that's to teach the sport of field hockey. You know, it's basics to have fun and to learn the sport. Then we have our high school league. So anyone that's in high school, and then after that, I mean, if you're in college, I think our oldest registered participant might be around 50.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we have it's an awesome setup to get people playing, and if we can get stuff more like that, I mean, I'd love to see it personally. So yeah, it's a great program that's starting up on Tuesday.
That's really great. I was imagining it was mostly kids around the same age, but that's really cool that you have three different groups.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I talk to people, I've been calling it like the summer field hockey experience because they all go back to back to back. So you get to see all of these people out there. And last year we had upwards of about 150 participants. This year I think we're not on Tuesday yet, and people usually sign up close to that deadline, but we're up to near like 110 people. So you know, it's a pretty cool program. Like if you get to see it, if you can participate, I mean, it's also pretty cool. I've never played field hockey, but I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
What's the time commitment? So it begins Tuesday, runs for 8 weeks. What time are practices generally?
It's actually just, so for the kindergarten through 8, it's a combination of like training or more like teaching the skills and the foundation, and then some gameplay. And then for the high school and adult league, it's just 1 hour a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's one game. I mean, your teams are set up once the league starts. So there is some leeway. Tuesday is when it starts. But if someone were interested in trying to, like, they hear about it from someone or they come out and they're like, oh, this sounds really cool, they still have a week to register afterwards.
Okay.
But from Tuesday on, it's 8 weeks. Each Tuesday, it's 1 hour. So it's pretty minimal in terms of all our busy time commitments we all have around like the course of a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And then we have everyone's favorite Safetyville, which is for 4 to 5-year-olds.
Yep.
And tell us about that.
I mean, I talked about Safetyville either the last time I was on or the time beforehand, but it's such a great program, and it's especially, I mean, we talked beforehand, but like I'm newer to the area, so like every time I talk about someone else, I hear about it, which is so cool. Like we ran for a different program, we had a registration, and I was talking to my staff member about different programs we had, things going on, and even one of my high school staff members, like when Safetyville came up, he was like, "Oh, I remember riding around the pedal cars, you know, and I got to hang out and meet like the Cecil County Sheriff's Office." I hear from all these people, and I'm like, I wouldn't have thought that would, like, this one staff member, like, it wasn't something I would have thought would have resonated. You know, he's a varsity high school sport athlete, not someone I think that, and he was gushing about it.
Yeah.
So it's a program that, I mean, even though it's hitting younger kids who are 4 to 5 years old, I mean, it makes an impression because it's fun, you're doing a lot of different activities, and there's a lot of people involved. I mean, it's run by Parks and Rec in partnership with the public school system, CCPS, and also Cecil County Sheriff's Office. So it's a pretty big undertaking to try and put on such a cool experience.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those programs that people love the memories of doing when they were kids, but then also, I know I and several people I know in the county volunteered later as not counselors,
like
but
like an assistant instructor, I believe, like as the Tyler or something.
And that was also a lot of fun. So, yeah, so that runs the end of June through early July.
Yep.
And this year is at Rising Sun High School and Elk Neck Elementary School.
Yeah, so, I mean, the easiest way I think to remember it is it sandwiches July 4th because everyone's away during July 4th and they're kind of relaxing. So before then, it starts like mid-June, right into that beginning of July. We're at Rising Sun High School for a 2-week session. And then right after the week of July 4th, we move down to Elk Neck Elementary School for a 2-week session.
Okay, and what are the times? It's during the day, obviously.
Yep, we have a morning session that's from about 8 to 10. And then the second session, which is kind of like a late morning, early afternoon, which is 10 to 12. And that's for both Rising Sun and Elk Neck Elementary School.
Great. How can people learn more?
So if they're looking to learn more, I mean, we're trying to get our messages out there in as many places as we can. I would say the best place to find out update information would be on Facebook. If you look up Cecil County Parks and Recreation. And we also have a website that has everything listed, which is cecilrec.recdesk.com.
Great. Okay, so people can go to Facebook or to the website to learn about Community Game Night, which is this Friday, Summer Field Hockey, which starts on Tuesday, and then Safetyville, which starts the end of June.
Yeah, right around the middle to late June. Yep.
Okay, great. Nick Moon, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Allison.